The Sound of Money with Santosh Sirur.
Hello and welcome to another super special episode of my podcast, Sound of Money. Well, I call it very super special because the guest on the other side of the screen is someone whom I know since 20 plus years and actually connected with him in the last week. He's my ex super boss, Mr. Kailash Kulkarni joins me from Mumbai, and he is now the CEO of HSBC Mutual Fund. And we're going to talk about India, mutual funds, a lot more. And first, let's catch up with Kailash. Hi, Kailash. Good to see you on the other side of the screen. And life for us, both of us, life was in and around Fort area of Mumbai. I remember those amazing days vividly. So, how has life been for you over the years?
Well, Santosh, first, thanks for having me on this wonderful podcast, and great to see that you're doing such an interesting thing, because I think this is the need of the hour, connecting with people and getting them to know more about what's happening. So, compliments to you.
Thank you.
Even today when I go to Fort on work, I still eat the burji pav in that particular place, and I still have that chas from that same thela wala that we did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It just feels so nice. It just brings back to the time when uh, life was, I think, a little bit simpler 20 years back,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and great fun. So yeah, it brings me to those good old days. But life is really good, fine, and uh, really, what I can say, uh, encouraging as we look towards the future. So that's how life is right now.
Absolutely fantastic to know, Kailash. Kailash, my first question to you actually is on your career, because I recall your career. I mean, I came across you in ICICI Bank, and even before that, you would have stepped into your own career. Tell us your life journey. How has been your career, and now reaching, maybe typical question would be, from a campus to a CEO today. How has been the journey? And I'm sure it's not been easy. How challenging was that? Because today's generation needs to know that life is not as easy as one looks at on an Instagram or a Facebook. Maybe you could share a little more about your career.
Yeah, sure. So quick bit is I completed my MBA in 1990 and
Mm-hmm.
actually joined an automobile company called Aisha Motors.
Uh-huh.
And from Aisha Motors, I completely took a big change and joined financial services. And I was always on the uh, distribution, banking side, for a
Yeah.
long period of time,
Hmm.
setting up third-party distribution.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I never thought I'd get into finance, strangely enough, because I wasn't very good at finance in college. So
Mm-hmm.
I never thought, but finally at the end of the day, what we were doing is selling financial products. So I loved sales, I loved marketing, and that was my forte. And I said, okay, it's just another product. You just need to understand it. I think the biggest challenge is, in this kind of a world, especially financial services, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's not valid for the other industries, but uh, change has become inevitable. Okay,
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
the pace of change has become inevitable. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you want to grow in your career and you want to make it big, I think keeping abreast of the changes, and hence you have to learn to keep yourself updated in what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think that is something I did as a young kid, and then as I grew along, that I kept learning
Hmm.
the new things that were happening in the industry, the new products that were coming up, the global products, because 20 years back, India wasn't as exposed to the global products as we are today. So, reading about them. So it's a lot about reading. It's a
Hmm.
lot about keeping yourself abreast of what's happening in the world. And most importantly, even if you had an 8 o'clock morning meeting,
Yeah.
uh, the question is, did you read your newspaper at 7 o'clock
Hmm.
while going to the meeting or no?
Yeah.
Because I think that helps you keep updated. Of course, today a newspaper is replaced by a e-paper or a Google News or etc. etc.
Yeah.
But I think keeping yourself updated in terms of knowledge, in
Hmm.
terms of new things that are happening in the industry, or the industry that you're in,
Yeah.
I think that is something I did as a practice, and I think that has really helped me grow in my career.
Okay.
It's a lot of hard work. It's a
Of
lot of
course.
hard work, but yeah, one has to do that if one has to grow.
Wonderful. So, Kailash, talking about mutual fund industry, I'm sure you stepped into an industry where it was relatively at its nascent stage, and it was still not even demat form. Uh, you've seen that journey, that transformation or that transition, as we say. What was it then, and now that you see how things have changed?
So if I start with a funny joke,
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
those were the days when couple of very large mutual funds had come out with their new uh, products,
Hmm.
and those products had not done well at all. So the joke in the market was, if you are going as a mutual fund salesperson, you better wear a helmet and go, because you didn't
Okay.
know who will beat you on your head with a something.
Uh
So
huh.
from those days where it was virtually impossible to sell a mutual fund because people did not understand the product, people did
Hmm.
not understand what NAV was,
Hmm.
to today people wanting to purchase mutual funds. And at least if they don't want to purchase mutual funds, many people want to purchase SIP or systematic investment plan,
Yeah.
because sometimes many people don't correlate it's the same thing. They say नहीं नहीं हमारे पास SIP है,
Uh,
mutual fund नहीं है. No, no,
uh,
we have a SIP, but we don't have a mutual fund,
yeah.
But it's now become a kind of a in-house name. Everybody knows mutual funds.
So,
And I think the industry, when it came together about 7, 8 years back, or nearly 10 years back now,
hmm.
and they came up with this mutual fund Sahi Hai campaign, that has also helped a long way
Yeah.
in terms of getting mutual funds to become a household name
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Hmm.
And from the days where it was next to impossible to sell a fund,
Yeah.
to today, when you go and say, okay, mutual fund, so people say, okay, tell me which fund to buy.
Yeah.
So I
That
think
awareness has come in.
that's how much the difference has been. But it's been a fantastic journey. But one statistics which has amazed me, and I'm unfortunately we don't talk much about it. Pre-COVID in India, we had just about 2 crore investors.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now that it's 2 years post-COVID, we have added 2 crore investors. So what took us 30 years to do, we have done in 4 years. And I believe the next 2 crore investors will happen in a year's
Absolutely.
time. That's
True.
the kind of pace of growth that we are seeing in
Yeah.
this industry.
Yeah, that's great. So Kailash, this great growth trajectory that you see, right? I'm sure it's also probably, as you say, rightly say, it's about the awareness and people getting to know more and being aware of it. But at the same time, also unfortunate 1992 scam that also probably added that kind of discomfort, and then SEBI stepping in with the right set of procedures, right set of regulation, and of course the mutual fund industry coming together, investor awareness education kind of initiatives. So you would have come across that as a part of this journey. Where do you see the industry going ahead, because we are 50,000 crore plus AUM, which is phenomenal, and 2024 we've just started, and with the kind of credit rating for India as a as a country, you're going to see tons and tons of money coming in. So how positive are you about this industry?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10
That's fantastic.
completely. Okay, if I could say 11, I would say 11. And that's the amount of positivity that I have about this industry. I think there are three things. Okay. One, awareness has gone up. There's no
Mm,
doubt about it.
mm,
Number two, and very importantly, people have realized that this is the most transparent industry across all financial products in India, at least.
mm,
Okay, because
mm.
90% we are catering to Indians,
Yeah,
10% or so maybe to NRIs.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but I'm just saying, amongst the various suite of products that I have, which
Mm,
cater to financial planning, this is the industry which is the most transparent.
yeah.
So people know what they are getting into. People realize there is volatility.
Mm,
People have started to accept that. And today, because we got nearly 4 crore plus investors, at least 3 crore of them have gone through certain cycles, okay, wherein they realize, okay, these ups and downs do happen. So easy to access, fully transparent. You can come in with small ticket sizes, yeah, and information about this industry is available not just in different parts of internet search, but also at industry level bodies which have put up this information. So, right from performance to track record to everything is available. And hence, more people want to get in. So I believe that we are adding anywhere between 3 lakh and 7 lakh, or 300,000 and 700,000 new investors to this industry month on month.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. In fact, you brought up that good point about this ticket size, right? And the very recent mention about the ticket size of 250 rupees SIP, the Chota SIP as we call, because in India, Chota recharges have worked phenomenally. Do you think this Chota recharge on SIP and the discussion around which SEBI initiated could go a long way in making this industry far more, participatory or democratizing SIP, as I was saying?
So today, when you talk of Chota SIP, right? Let's look at the staggering numbers that we are talking about. Today, these Chota SIPs put together, including some large ticket SIPs, is 2 billion US dollars, around roughly 16 and a half, 17,000 crore rupees
Wow.
per month. Okay. And when you go ahead and you extrapolate this,
Yeah.
going ahead,
Yeah.
what are you looking at? This is again growing by a few hundred crores every month. So you'll soon have a situation where per month SIP will be 20,000 crore rupees. And this is coming in from people who invest 50, 100, 200, 500, and 10,000, 50,000, and 1 lakh. It comes across the spectrum of players.
Yeah.
People have started to realize that if you invest through the SIP route, it caters to all the jargons that we use, right? Rupee cost averaging.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
When your market is low, you get more units. When your market is high, you get less units.
Yeah.
Now, these were only concepts in the heads of people. They didn't understand how it works. But having done SIPs for some time now, they understand how it works.
Yeah.
And most importantly, 5, 7, 10 years back, maybe the SIPs were signed up for 3 years.
Yeah.
Today, the SIPs are signed up for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years.
Amazing.
People are willing to sign up. So not only is this a sustainable long-term trend that you're seeing, but it is only growing in nature.
Yeah, indeed. In fact, my next question relates to this Chota SIP. In terms of the kind of democratics that we see, right? Tier 1 cities like Mumbai, Delhi, metros, of course, it's always there. Where is the penetration or the challenges around Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities? And maybe from your own mutual fund perspective, what has been your experience?
So at an industry level, let me give you some statistics. 80% of the money comes from the top 30 cities. 20% comes from beyond the 30 cities, or maybe 75-25. Okay. But when it comes to SIP, only 50% comes from the top 30 cities. 50% is coming from the rest of the cities. So you look at the stark difference in terms of behavior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying 75-25 versus 50-50. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, technology and UPI, which has been India's master stroke.
Absolutely.
Okay? If you have to give a Guinness Book of Record award, it has to go to UPI.
Yeah.
Today, a person sitting in the smallest of village, thanks to his mobile phone, can log in and buy a mutual fund. Within a minute. Within a minute, he can complete the transaction, including making the payment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That has changed the way SIPs or mutual funds are bought. So your tier 3 cities are actually growing faster than your tier 1 and tier 2 in terms of number of people. In terms of quantum, still tier 1, tier 2 rule. But in terms of number of new investors getting added, your tier 3, tier 4 are actually doing very, very well.
Can't agree with you more. I just had a visit from Goa, and I happened to be in a very small town of Goa, and I kind of, withdrew some cash to hand over to some small shop. this guy says, cash. He was like, what's this? He says, मैं कहाँ रखूँ cash? And he said, UPI कीजिए. So that's where, I mean, amazing, really amazing transformation. And all for good. So
And
where do you see? Yeah. Sorry, you carry on.
no, so I was saying, you're saying we have already entered 2024, right?
Yeah.
So what are you looking at? So can we double the number of clients from where we are? The answer is yes.
Hmm.
Whether it takes 12 months or 18 months or 24 months, I don't know.
Yeah.
But are we going to double? The answer clearly is yes.
Yes. Hmm.
There's no doubt about that, right?
Hmm.
And with India becoming now one of the more globally powerful economies,
Yeah.
with a growth rate at least for the next 1 or 2 years,
Hmm.
which is expected to be more than the other countries,
True.
you will see fund flow coming to India,
Hmm.
which is only going to improve the economy more and more.
Yeah.
So you should see that reflect in the stock markets also.
Yeah.
And very interestingly, Santosh, there's something very interesting happening. Now like in RBI chief, you have all the other policymakers across the world. Everybody is talking about the interest rates having peaked and now they will start falling.
Yeah.
Now, some may start in the first quarter of 2024, some may do it in the third quarter of 2024. But unanimous agreement that the interest rates will come down.
Yeah.
If that is the case, your bond funds, which is a replacement to your traditional fixed deposits that are there,
Yeah.
will also start gaining significant popularity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a change, you're seeing equity do well, fixed income do well, gold do well. All three asset classes doing well in the same year, rare situation.
Can't get, yeah, never ever, yeah, can't get, yeah. In all this optimism, in all this positive fervor of 2024, and of course we have the elections, which is another big stakes out there. Are there any challenges that you see? Do you think there could be something what are you worried of, if at all, from your industry perspective and India's growth story?
Uh, so volatility will continue. So if you're going to say, no, this is going to be a secular run, I disagree with that. You will see significant bouts of volatility. You will see markets go down 1.5% on one day. Okay. Multiple times. So don't expect volatility to be a thing of the past. Okay. There are 2-3 important events which are happening. One, of course, is in India. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is clearly the Indian elections in May.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, given by the recent track record, what happened last year in terms of the state elections,
Yeah.
everybody believes it's going to be smooth.
Yeah.
But
agree.
Elections are elections. The
True.
prediction of outcomes are very difficult. So obviously, during that point of time, there will be a wait and watch kind of policy to see how many seats are won by the current government and are they winning comfortably or not winning comfortably, etc., etc. So that is something you have to keep your eyes and ears open. Second, can there be any other global event, okay, of a significant nature? 2 years back, we had Russia-Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That upset the apple cart for many countries. Okay. Now, can there be, I'm not saying a war, it could be some other issue.
Yeah.
So that's again something which one has to keep our eyes and ears open. The third, let's also understand US is undergoing an election towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And finally, the US economy does dominate across the world.
Indeed.
So how that election pans out will also have some bearing on the stock markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Globally.
Yeah.
So I think there are a few events. But if you look at India standalone, I think we are doing very well. Okay. I don't see that to get derailed
Yeah.
as of now, unless some unforeseen circumstances happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the probability of that happening is very low as of now.
True. Absolutely. Before we wrap up, Kailash, a very simple question for you. Life is busy for all of us, right? Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you get a weekend. But typically, as a CEO, and again, come back to the same point, because I have a lot of young population, young professionals watching, and telling me about in their feedback about the kind of life they have, commuting, issues that work, etc., etc. How do you deal with stress? That's my question one. And of course, related is how do you manage your weekends, your day off, your time offs? How is a day for Kailash Kulkarni otherwise?
So you need some kind of a hobby, okay, to manage stress. Okay. It could be gardening, it could be photography, it could be reading a book. And when I say reading a book, I'm not talking about a financial book or a
Yeah, yeah.
industry related book. I'm talking of a general novel. It
Hmm.
could be just going to a theater and watching movies. It could be uh, going out for a weekend with family or
Yeah,
with friends.
yeah,
Okay, just
yeah,
chilling out,
yeah.
but trying to disassociate yourself from work.
Hmm.
I think somewhere way back in 2005, and let me use that word because that's nearly 20 years back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We as a family decided that we will do 2 holidays in a year.
Okay.
Yeah, one holiday within India, which is a 4-day kind of a holiday, including a weekend. It becomes a 6-day
Yeah,
holiday,
yeah,
and one holiday in a different country.
yeah,
Okay, which means you do a 8 days or 9 days holiday
yeah.
with Saturday, Sunday. It works out to be 2 weeks of
Absolutely.
vacation.
2 weeks. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and then diligently ensured that we followed it, come what
Okay.
may.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
I think that helps. I love travel, for
Hmm.
example.
Hmm.
As a family, we love travel.
Yeah.
Uh, we love wildlife, so we
Yeah.
go to various national parks in India.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that really cuts you out because you're
Hmm.
in fresh air,
Yeah.
green environment.
And no
It
mobile
helps,
connectivity.
and no mobile
Hopefully.
connectivity.
Yeah.
But I think unless you don't have a hobby,
Yeah.
you may struggle. So
Agree.
develop a hobby. It could be anything. It
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
not be for somebody playing chess, which is a very brainy game, is
Yeah.
also a hobby. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying do something which is radically different from your work.
Yeah. Hmm.
And if you do that diligently and you ensure that when you do that, you're
Hmm.
spending time on that and not
Absolutely.
focused on work, I think that's the magic to kind of keep yourself a little less stress free, I can
Yes.
say.
Absolutely. Can't agree more, Kailash. With my hobby of radio and now into podcasting and also managing work, I think I look forward to the weekends, starting recordings, connecting with guests. So I completely agree with you. Yeah. Kailash
Uh,
Kulkarni, CEO, HSBC Mutual Fund. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in on my podcast, The Sound of Money.
Thank you so much, Santosh. And most important, wishing all your podcast listeners a very, very happy, prosperous, and most importantly, healthy new year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, with that, we come to the end of this episode of The Sound of Money with me, Santosh Sirur, from Mr. Kailash Kulkarni and Santosh Sirur. Thank you so much for joining in and happy enjoying the listening of the podcast, The Sound of Money. Continue listening in. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.
The Sound of Money with Santosh Sirur.